Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To those of you who have subscribed, I thank you. And if you haven't, I hope you do. I just completed my 38th year coaching football. I was defensive coordinator, but over the years I've been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, been a head coach, all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today in this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of our A.F.Cs, which is automatic front and cover versus unique formations. And today in this presentation, it's what we call a bunch wide formation. Okay. So bunch wide is what we call check war. War wide. Okay. And what that means is the front is an automatic 58. You'll see it puts our defensive ends into five techniques. And Pittsburg is the 3-by-1 check that we utilize at times, okay, when we're spread out. All right. So the premise behind check war, and if you've seen my A.F.C on bunch tight, it's a very different check. Okay, bunch tight, you got 9 gaps you have to defend in the run game. Bunch wide, it's the exact opposite. Okay. So in bunch wide, the 3 receivers are within a few yards of each other. For us bunches, it has to be 3 receivers together within a few yards of each other, bunched together. That's why we call it bunch. I've heard cluster, all kinds of different things over the year. We call it bunch. Okay. But the key is, in order for it to be wide, they got to be well more than 5 yards away from the tackle. They get near 5, then it becomes more to us of a tight. So, all right, so that's why it's +5, meaning much wider than 5, so it's easy to determine. Okay. Again, if they're not sure, then we go tight, so with more security in the run game. So this one's obvious. We've had teams put a bunch of receivers on the numbers when the ball's in the middle of the field. Okay, that one's pretty easy, right? And I've never had a tight end away from a wide bunch. You can. I'll acknowledge that right now. We've only seen it with a wide receiver because they're really trying to spread us out. All right? So therefore, the premise behind check war is we do have a 5-man box. So if you're going, but we've got an outside linebacker and a weak safety that can help us out. Okay, there's our support. So there's a potential for a 6th and 7th to get into the box to help in the run. Okay? But remember the other part of this, the premise, this is a pass first call. They got 4 receivers. They are definitely spreading us out, especially with the wide bunch. So this is the foundation, the premise for check war. All right? So I have 3 different illustrations just to give you 3 different configurations of the bunch. Okay, who's on the line, 1, 2, or 3. So the rules are very consistent with our check brown for the bunch tight. See that on the A.F.C playlist, and check war for the bunch wide. Okay, Rover goes over 2, but the difference between check brown bunch tight and check war bunch wide is Rover just stays over 2 because the dime apexes the tackle in number 3, right? Splits the difference. There's the key, okay? The dime, so this is what we call automatic overhang, which means both outside linebackers are on the same side, which happens frequently in 3-by-1. Okay, not always, but frequently, and part of our self-adjusting defense, our players know when they should and when they shouldn't. Okay, you have to see all the various presentations or email me. Happy to go over it with you. Okay, so Rover stays over 2 whether he's on or off the line because of the wide bunch or bunch wide, right? The dime apex, it splits the difference, tackle in 3. Okay. The field corner, 2-by-2 outside of 1, again, irregardless of the configuration. The free safety, 1-by-12 Ike, inside of number 3, again, regardless of the configuration. Okay? So that's how we handle it. If you think about this is +1, right? They have 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. With the outside linebacker's ability, since he has force, orbit, to get into the box. Okay, that's why we like this. It's pass first premise with the ability to get a 6th and or 7th defender in the box in case of run. Okay, and this is a zone, so those guys are going to be reading the surface and they'll know if it's run or pass. Okay, so then the box, the 5-man box, whatever you call it's fine. We call it 58. Both of our defensive ends are in a 5 technique. The nose stays head up. Our inside linebackers have the exact same alignment as our base 3-4 front, but now they're what we call 31 techniques, which means they're B-gap defenders. That's all. Okay, B-gap defenders. In Pitt, they're going to maybe, which means they're going to combo the running back and the quarterback. So we have our 5 to take care of these 2. Okay, when I say 5, I'm including the defensive line for both the run game and the pass. Okay? We're good? So we're +1 here. We're +1 over here, right? 1, 2. We got 5 in the box, but with a 6th and 7th potential to help in the run game. See, here's a huge difference between the bunch wide and a bunch tight. And I'm encouraging you to go to my A.F.C. on the whiteboard playlist to see check Brown versus bunch tight. Watch the difference here. Okay? As far as this is why it's pass first. You got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 gaps total to defend. 6 gaps total. When you move that bunch tight, you now get 9. 6 are on one side. Okay, huge difference. So that's why we A.F.C. differently. Pass first call with the ability to defend against the run if a team's just, it's a ruse and the team's just doing it on purpose. What we typically see is a lot of tunnel screens, wide receiver, go screens, just throw it and go. You got 2 blockers in front of you now, right? Find a room and go. That's why PTS, his job is to protect the sideline. We've had 3 bubbles trying to get to the sideline, but again, that's why our alignment's the way it is. Okay? So here I got 2 on the line, here I got 3 on the line, here I got 1 on the line, and notice it does not impact our alignment in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So as always, you've got to look at what your opponents are doing, your own players. You know, if they're doing this and trying to run the football, then you're going to have a different check, no question. For us, okay, so I can only tell you what we face, and so this is why we do it. When a team gives us a bunch wide, they're trying to spread us out, and they're trying to create mismatches and get guys in space. These are their dudes. And if you crank it too much, they like to put a guy over here that can hurt you. All right, but again, we're +1. We have the ability to bring 6 and 7 into the box if we need it. Because again, this is zone. Everyone's reading the offensive line. I'm not going to go through all of this again here and here. Again, I gave it to you just to show you the different ways they can line up in the bunch. Who's on the line? That's all. Okay. Last thing, pistol, right? Gun behind the quarterback. This is an east. We'd be calling east. It'd be tagged away in our huddle column because the back's away from the 3 receivers. It's a west. It'd be called gun 2 because the back is to the 3 receivers. So just to clarify what all that means. So as I said at the beginning, thank you to those who have subscribed, and for those who haven't, I hope you do. To everybody, please reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com. Maybe this is the first presentation you've seen, so you got a million questions as to why guys are lined up the way they are and all that stuff. That's why I give you my email, so please reach out to me that way. Okay? I hope you have a great day, and go football.